If Medjugorje is the Catholic Woodstock, then these people are waiting for one of the favorite headliners.
She's coming through the crowd now.
Her name is Vishka, one of these 6 visionaries who claim to see and talk to the mother of Jesus. They claim each was given a specialty by Mary, and this one is known as the healer. So 3 days a week, the sick, the frail, and their loved ones crowd her street, hoping for a glimpse, a word, or best of all, a touch. And Florita, who we met on Apparition Hill, is hoping that this is where her stage 4 cancer will disappear. We watch for 3 hours as Vishka tirelessly attends to the pilgrims and her handlers collect piles of prayer requests.
Hello.
Eventually, I'm led into her childhood home. The decor hasn't changed much since the 1980s, when she had most of her visions of Mary in this room. Can you describe her features? Her face. What does Mary look like?
She wears a grey robe or dress, crown of stars, blue eyes, and she's flying on a great cloud in the air, and she's never touching the ground.
You say you can kiss her, you can touch her, and does it feel like skin, flesh?
It's the same as the human hand, when you kiss your own hand and touch your skin. But it's much more special.
Do you have a conversation? Does she talk to you? What happens?
It's like you and I are having a conversation.
Really?
Just the same thing.
Wow. And does she, and this sounds odd, but does she tell jokes?
Not really. Those times are not for jokes.
Understand. She's got important things. Okay. Do you believe that Mary gave you the power to perform miracles?
I don't do miracles. We know who does miracles. There are people that have been healed, but it's not because of me. It's because of God.
What do you say to someone who doesn't believe that you're having these, that you're imagining these things? What do you tell them?
I love both believers and non-believers. No difference at all to me. God gave us freedom to decide.
If you decide not to believe, there are only a few explanations for all of this. The first theory is that they are acting. But none seem to be exploiting their gift for lavish profit, so there is the possibility that they are seeing something, not from heaven, but their own brains. Over the last 30 years, several researchers have tried to prove it, poking and prodding them during visions.
We do everything what they ask. I was saying, oh my God, I will be sick with all these things. But I never said no, never. Because I was thinking, if this can help people to believe in Blessed Mary, in the messages of her, I will do this.
The studies have been inconclusive, but in the world of neurotheology, there is a lot that defies explanation.
It may be very difficult to truly differentiate something which is a hallucination from something which is truly real. One of the problems is if you visually see an automobile and you imagine an automobile, then the brain is going to activate a lot of the same basic areas.
But what about the millions of people who claim their own supernatural experiences? Reports of rosaries turning gold, stories of the sun spinning across the sky, and those who believe the mysterious fluid weeping from the knee of this metal crucifix is a sign from above. Where does this kind of faith come from?
Well, we certainly know that there are differences in the brain between people who are religious and those people who are not religious. And that implies that there are people who would be more likely to be predisposed to having religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs compared to those people who don't.
Christine Watkins fits a profile of someone with a brain hardwired to believe.
I explored gurus, I explored tarot cards, all these things that turned out to be real dead ends.
Did you ever try psychotherapy?
I did not. That would have been a better idea.
As she writes in her book, Full of Grace, the former dancer describes a life of low self-esteem, meaningless sexual affairs, existential panic attacks, and a strained relationship with her atheist mother. So for her, Mary is the ideal answer.
She's the perfect mom. It's this dream we all have sometimes of just being an infant and saying, hug me, hold me, take away all my problems, just let me rock here.
But Mary is also there for believers with strong maternal ties, like Christina Luongo, part of a 3-generation pilgrimage. And now that she's outgrown Mom and Grandma's caress, she uses a statue of the Virgin to ward off very human fears.
If I ever feel like insecure at night as I'm going to sleep, because, thoughts about the world, it's a crazy place, I just reach over to my bedside and hold on to that. It does really help. You fall asleep at night.
And there is no discounting the power of acceptance in Medjugorje, a haven for believers in a cold world.
We don't feel like a bunch of cuckoos because, there are people that think we're fanatics at home. But here, we don't have to say a word. We look at each other and that we know, yes, there's an acceptance. It's like you're wrapped in this mantle of love.
And then there are those whose faith is galvanized by need, like Fleur, who is battling stage 4 cancer. She has received word that Vishka the healer could meet her in the morning.
I wish it will be tomorrow already. Even if they will not speak to me, just being close and standing by and watching them, even from a distance. These people saw the Mother of God. It is really going to be a wonderful experience.